Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my tunnel. I am so glad that you are here, y'all. Today is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful week. The temperature is like 65 degrees. When I came out to the tunnel, it was 96. I had on long sleeves, had to go back to the house, change clothes. I've opened up all the sides, both sets of doors, and it's cooling down, but it is very, very warm, but it feels great, so I'm not complaining. And all this week is supposed to be really, really nice. I'm in Tennessee in zone 7B, and so today I'm out in the tunnel. I haven't been out here in like 8 days. I was in Arizona last week thinking that I was gonna get me some warm weather, but I did not. It was like 50 degrees in Arizona, so I came back and it's warm here in Tennessee, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. But things definitely need to be watered. My husband watered once while I was gone, but I can see that things need to be watered. Everything is uncovered. We'll keep it like this for the week until the temperatures die back down. And so on this video, we're going to water our plants. I'm going to take you around and let you see what things are looking like in February. And then we have, I want to show you my spring seedlings as well, so you can see what those look like. And then I got another surprise to show you as well. So stay tuned. I'm so glad that you are here. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually turn on the hose pipe and get everything watered, and then we'll go around and see what everything is looking like. Okay, I have everything good and watered. And y'all, as I'm walking around, the tone of this video may change because it's maintenance day. There's a lot of maintenance that needs to go on out here, which is fine. You know, in the fall and winter gardening, it is a lot less hands-on than it is in the summer. But yeah, there's some maintenance that needs to happen for sure. You'll see that as we kind of go around. Also, I want to announce this before I forget, or just remind you about the garden planning workshop, how to have an abundant garden. That workshop is February the 16th at 2 p.m. It is virtual, it is online, and you can register at the link down below. I cannot tell you, out of all the workshops I do, to me, this is the most important. I have never done this workshop. So I'm telling you, if you are going to have a summer garden and you want to have success and abundance, and maybe you did not have that last year because maybe things did not grow well, you didn't know what to put together, this is the workshop for you. We're going to be talking about companion planting, succession planting, and we're going to actually plan out your spaces in your garden so that you know what's going to go where. I'm not telling you something that I read. I'm telling you something that I do every single season. I plan out my garden on paper first. It's not by happenstance that I have bok choy in that bed right there. That's not happenstance. I planned that. And so I want to encourage you to sign up for this workshop. It is February the 16th, and it is a garden planning workshop, virtual online. Now, let me take you around and show you what things are looking like, and we got a lot of maintenance to do. Okay, so this is the bed with the bok choy. You can see there is some yellowing in here. And remember, we've had some pretty harsh temperatures, but the plants itself look great. You can see there is some purpling on the underside. That just tells me it needs some more nutrients. That's a sign that it needs some nitrogen. But you can see the actual plant itself, the Brussels sprouts are growing, but they just need a little TLC. Again, because they've been cooped up, the temperature. Oh, wow, these are real big. Look at this right here, y'all. Those are real big. They're probably ready to harvest. Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing how some are bigger than others. But I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can zoom in. Look how big those are. They need to be fertilized, watered, a little bit taken care of. I'll remove all the yellow leaves and stuff like that. But they just probably need a little bit of TLC. They have had, inconsistent temperatures. It's, it's below 0 degrees, then it's 40, then it's 60. They've been covered up, uncovered. They've been in the ground for a long time. These Brussels sprouts have been in here since easily the first part of September. And so now we're in February. So that is almost 6 months. But it takes them that long to grow. So you can see I'm just now at the point where they are really, really growing. Let's move over to this bed right here. Here is the red cabbage. I've already harvested this whole row right here of green cabbage. There's one left right here. You can see that there. That looks good. But for whatever reason, this red cabbage has taken forever to head. It is just now forming a head. Just now. And the head is small, but it is there. So I don't know why those took so long. And then back here, we have one broccoli plant that was tucked in the corner right here. But all of this is cauliflower. But y'all, I took a look at it. It doesn't look good. Look at that. It's like some kind of slimy something on top of it. You see that there? Something has definitely gotten in here to eat. There's some droppings there. Yeah, all of this looks bad. Oh, that really looks bad. So what happened to my cauliflower? I really don't know, to be honest with you, because for the most part, it's been covered up. So yeah, I don't know what that is. It doesn't even look like it's salvageable. Again, I have not been successful with growing cauliflower except this season. So you guys saw in earlier videos, I was able to pretty much harvest the left side of the bed, and I got beautiful cauliflower. It's in my freezer now. I haven't even eaten it yet. But for whatever this part right here, I don't know what happened. It's not even as big, so I couldn't even harvest it. It wasn't time to harvest it. The last time I was out here was small and it was clean. Now 8 days later, it's been eaten and all that. So I will probably just pull those plants up because I don't think it's salvageable. So if you know and you're a cauliflower expert, let me know. But it just looks like something came in and ate it. And if it sounds like I'm just kind of nonchalant about it, I mean, it happens. It happens even with the best of gardeners. And again, y'all, this is the first season that I've been able to actually harvest a ton of cauliflower and actually put it up in my freezer. So I did have some success on the front end, but for whatever reason, I don't know what happened to this, but we're not gonna worry about it. We got plenty of food. Okay, so let's go over here to the other side and I'll show you what's going on over here. Okay, the right side of this bed was lettuce. And the lettuce did not fare well in the very, very cold weather. This is my kale that is still hanging on. We harvested a ton of this over the weekend and had it for a kale salad at some friend's house. It was absolutely delicious. So that's why it looks a little bare, because we harvested a huge ton of it. And then when we walk, this is the bed that had my carrots. We've harvested all the carrots. It also had some radish, and it just needs some tender loving care. Like, it needs to be cultivated and weeded. And I'm going to take these hoops up. And I'm going to decide if I'm going to put more carrots here for spring harvest or just let it stay bare. And I'll tell you about that. And then over here is the bed with, we still have some bok choy here. I'm not quite sure what this is. This might, that might be a Brussels sprout. They got tucked away. I'm not really sure. And then this is supposed to be cabbage. This is an arugula plant. That's one arugula that still looks good. That one didn't fare well. Some more bok choy. That right there, I'm going to explain what all that rubbish is right there. But that's actually there on purpose. This bed, the oregano has gone wild. My cilantro did not make it. My snapdragons are still hanging on. Sage is still hanging on. And the oregano looks great. Over here are more Brussels sprouts. You can see that the lower leaves have some yellow in, but y'all, these Brussels sprouts plants overall look really good. Look at these right here. Y'all, because I've never had Brussels sprouts, I need to check to make sure when is it time to actually harvest them. And do you just pull them off the plant? I'm assuming that's what you do, but I don't know because I've never done it before. So that's all that there. And then these These cabbages look good. They're ready to be harvested. More collards and kale. That's some more bok choy back there on that last row. Can you see how big that is? This thing is huge. Absolutely huge. And then we have more collard greens, kale, cabbage in the back. Okay, so that was really just a drive-by garden tour. You guys who have been following me, you have seen this is the same crops I've had since literally September. So you guys have seen all of these crops. You know where they are, where they're placed and all that. If you are new, basically this is my fall garden crops, winter crops, spring crops. It's the exact same thing. I actually did a video about spring gardening probably a couple of weeks ago. I'll try to remember to pop it up here if you want to go back and watch that video if you are in a zone where you're getting ready to start your spring garden. Spring garden is all about timing. But for me, because I'm in a high tunnel, the stuff that I'm planting for spring is the same stuff that I've already planted out here. This is like my third succession of it. For the most part. And I'm going to show you my spring crops and what they look like. But basically, if I had to just overall give you a summary of how things are going out here, I would say things are going pretty well. There's some maintenance that needs to be done, some cleanup of things that I've pulled, and just to kind of clean and tidy up the bed. And then I need to harvest some stuff. But overall, I cannot complain. I got a few yellow leaves and some purpling, but overall, everything looks really, really good. And that is in spite of us having really low temperatures for like a whole week. We're talking single digits in Tennessee, sustained. And so this stuff has done really, really, really well. So I have no complaints. Now let me show you my spring crops and what they're looking like. And that's what we're going to actually put out. And I'm going to explain to you. Oh, one more thing. Y'all, I got so much. Y'all got so much. Okay, before I show you the spring crops, let me show you one other surprise. Okay, if you've been following me, you know that this bed here was my comfrey plant. It was big, it was beautiful, it was voluptuous, it was all the things. Obviously, over this last month or so, with the crazy weather, it pretty much died on top. Like, it went dormant. So all the leaves went from green to brown. They looked really, really sad. You don't even see it anymore because today, y'all, I pulled up the comfrey plant to get my first comfrey root cuttings. So this bed is empty. And then this right here are the leaves of the comfrey. Remember I told you this rubbish was on purpose? I just put these leaves in this bed to decompose because it's great fertilization for your plants. There's a ton of nitrogen in comfrey leaves. Now, let's walk over here to my table and let me show you what I got. Now, you may be thinking you're looking at a whole bunch of trash and rubbish and tree bark and all that. But y'all, these are the comfrey root cuttings I got from my one comfrey plant. Literally, y'all, I could make about 200 comfrey plants just from this whole tray of comfrey cuttings. Is that not amazing? Okay, if you are not familiar with comfrey, comfrey is a powerful medicinal herb that is absolutely fantastic, used herbally and medicinally. So when it comes to comfrey, we make a comfrey salve that we actually sell in our shop. The nickname of comfrey is called knit bone or knit together, because it literally has the ability to kind of help broken bones. It's good for broken bones, for injuries. It's good for wounds. It's great for arthritic pain. It is great for joint pain. It is great for inflammation. It is so great for so many things. It's even insect and bug bites. So we actually make a comfrey salve from the comfrey plant. You can also make a comfrey tea to use as fertilizer for your plants. I have not done that yet, but trust and believe, I am going to do it. So basically, it is very hard to find comfrey cuttings. My comfrey plant that I had in here was from one cutting, and you guys, if you were with me, you saw me do it. I think it was like last March or April. One cutting, and I had a big old plant, and I have made at least 100 tins of comfrey salve, and I still have comfrey left from that one plant. And then now I have over 200 more plants that I can make literally from that one plant. When I tell you that the God we serve is so amazing and so awesome, because he does not have lack, he has abundance. So even when you plant one plant, he is feeding you. He is giving you medicinal herbs for on into eternity, right? Because y'all, that's one plant. I can make me 200 more plants. Now, do I need 200 plants? I do not, right? So I know that many of you said that you want some Comfrey cuttings. And so what I'm going to do, I am going to sell some Comfrey cuttings. I'm also going to make some individual Comfrey plants. But y'all, I bought a Comfrey cutting from somebody else and I planted it and it did well. So before I sell what came from my plant, I want to test it first. That's how I do with everything else. So just hold on and I will walk you through the process. We're going to put it in some dirt. We're going to see what happens. I want to make sure that it's all good and it's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do before I sell you any or give you any. Okay, so just hold on that. But let's just hold hands, pray, and agree that the Comfrey works out. Okay. Okay, y'all, these are my spring crops. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. This tray represents the end of my fall, winter, spring gardening, whatever one you want to put on it. Meaning this is the last succession, the last time I'm going to plant cool season crops. After this, we will be starting our warm season crops, and that's what we'll be planting. The next time we plant in the ground, it will be something warm season. But this is the end of the cool season era. So I have lettuce. I have like 3 different kinds of lettuce. I have broccoli. I have bok choy. I have cabbage. I have kale, collards, and cilantro and kale. All in this one tray. This tray holds 32, but there's many more plants in here because I heavy seeded when I started some of these so that I could just take multiple plants, but I didn't want to start another tray. That's an old trick, right? When you have a little bit of experience behind your belt, you know, you just heavy seeded, and then like here, there's like 5 or 6 at least broccoli plants in this one thing alone, but it's only in 1 cup. So that is what they look like. I will be getting this out in the ground over the next 24 hours or so. But the next thing we're going to do is actually cultivate one of these beds. And let me show you what I mean when I say cultivate and why you want to do it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to actually take up these wire hoops. Hopefully you can see this. They literally just pop up out of the ground. Just like that. I'm going to take these up because really, if I do put something else in here right now, it's going to be carrots. And I don't need these hoops because carrots don't necessarily have to be covered. And if for some reason I do have to cover it, I'll use it without the hoops. So this bed will be pretty much done with the hoops. This is going to make it easier for me to cultivate. These wire hoops have like a they're almost like have like a tension in them, so they stay down in place, but then when you pull them up, they just pop out just like this. I love these things. Okay, so then we'll put these up. I'm gonna put the drip lines back so that we don't tear those up, and then we're gonna get a tool and cultivate this bed and weed it real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna set my tool down and I'm gonna just take the drip lines and move them back. The drip irrigation is not on right now. We don't keep it on in the winter just because there's so much fluctuation in temperatures and the lines can freeze. So once the temperatures get cold, we just manually water. And we're only manually watering about once a week. But you see me just getting the drip lines out of the way so that as I do the tool and try to weed, I'm not tearing up the drip lines. This tool right here is from Mindful Farmer. He is based out of Arkansas, and his whole thing is he makes gardening tools for the home gardener. And so this tool right here, it's called the Razor, if I'm not mistaken. There is a long handle one, which is the one that I have, and then there is also a short handle one. You can buy them individually or separate, but you can probably see on the end there's like these 2 little teeth that you can see, and it's actually just pulling up those weeds that are in there, and it's pulling them up really, really easily. The only reason I chose this length today is just to show you, because I think I showed you the short one in a previous video, just to show you that you can stand up and do this. This is great in raised beds, but also if you have an outside garden as well, like I do, you can just go in between your rows to cultivate, to weed, and to just get rid of all of that dead debris. So I just keep doing this until I get all the weeds up and clear. And then once I do this bed, I'll go over to the bed right behind me, which is the kale bed, and do the exact same thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna plant lettuce in this bed. It's been ready to go in the bed, as you can see. Look at that. It's been ready. So we're gonna just put it in the ground. I had lettuce here before, so I'm just gonna plop all this lettuce here along this row. And hopefully it won't get too cold, as cold as it was, and it'll survive. Lettuce does pretty good till about 20 to 25 degrees, depending on what kind it is. Things that are like romaine, that are more hardier leaves, they'll survive more than the kind with frilly leaves, which is what I had before. Okay, so I got all of my lettuce planted, kale and cilantro in this bed, which was what was originally here. And so all I did was replace the cilantro that didn't make it, the lettuce that didn't make it, and then I added one fresh kale. We have harvested a ton of kale. I will say that we've eaten the kale mostly fresh. I don't even think I have any in my freezer. We have sold a ton of it, and we have eaten a lot of it fresh for kale salad. I still have more kale. It will continue to grow. And so what I'll be focusing on from now until April is putting some up in my freezer, but of course, continuing to eat a lot of it fresh. I like it better fresh than I like it cooked, but it does come in handy to have some cooked in the refrigerator to be able to saute, put in some soups or smoothies or things like that. So I do want to have some in my freezer, and I don't have any as of yet. But I just added one new fresh kale. If that one kale grows well, I'll be able to get several harvests off of it. This is still good. It's just been in here since September. And so we have harvested and reharvested and reharvested and reharvested. So yeah, I also cleared out, you guys saw me, I cultivated and weeded this bed. And then I also harvested a couple of bok choy. I just remember we had an order for a client with some bok choy, so I did that. I think the next thing I'm going to do, let's see what plants I have left. I have broccoli left and cabbages. Let's see. It's about to be dark in about 20 minutes. So I think I'll wait on that until tomorrow. I probably need to go ahead and harvest the rest of this client's order, so that will be done, so they'll be ready when they come to pick it up. But yeah, so really for the next 20 minutes, I'm just going to be doing a lot of maintenance, cultivating more beds, and weeding, and then deciding, for the most part, all of this broccoli that I have in this tray here is going to go in the place where the broccoli was before. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not doing anything different. It's going to go right back in the places where it was before. And then also I'm going to be looking up tonight about harvesting my Brussels sprouts, because I've never done it. I've never had successful Brussels sprouts. So this is the first season that I actually have Brussels sprouts. And some of them look like they're ready to harvest. So if you have any tips on harvesting Brussels sprouts, let me know down below. So maybe I'll do that on a video later this week, and I'll take you guys along with me. But that's what I'm going to do for the next 20 minutes. So I just want to pop on the camera and show you how things are looking, show you my Comfrey cuttings, that hopefully more to come. I also will be planting those this week. I have some individual cups that I'm just going to do the Comfrey cuttings in and see if they grow, and then we'll go from there. What else? Yeah, that's all we're doing. So this is a good time. Again, if you've been gardening with me from the fall into the winter, you have a tunnel or you have a hoop house or something like that, this is a good time, as you're probably have harvested your first succession of crops, and you may be doing your last succession like me of spring crops, is a good time to just kind of, you know, weed as you go, put stuff in there. But really, y'all, after this, my eyes are set on the summer garden. That is where my mind is, and I have lots to do before then. I will be starting my first round of seeds this week for the summer garden. I will take you along with me for that. So I hope that you guys are doing oh so great. I hope that you're getting excited about the summer gardening season. Remember, y'all, remember, sign up for the workshop, the garden planning workshop. I'm telling you, I'm not just telling you this so that you can buy and put money in my pockets. I'm telling you this because this is what I know. If you plan your garden with intention, you have a more likely chance of having abundance. You have to be intentional. You have to plant things and maximize your space. And no, you don't have to have all this land like I have. I don't care what you have. You need to maximize your space. Okay, so register for the class. Remember, all of this is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.